Well, this is good, you know. If you're an email order bride, you know, you haven't met your husband or something.
Previously on Eat Local Challenge on TVCOGECO. Eastern Ontario residents challenged themselves to eat only foods grown and produced close to their home for a 7-day period in an effort to reduce their environmental impact, increase their health, and strengthen their communities. In Brockville, Ontario, the Cameron Shea family began their challenge with a delivery from Wendy's Mobile Market, a service that specializes in foods grown and raised locally.
Pick this morning.
The family's food options were limited by 3-year-old Kieran's dietary restrictions.
Because he's gluten-free, it's difficult without brown rice and arrowroot flour and whatnot.
Over on Amherst Island, near Kingston, Ontario, comedian Deborah Kimmett focused on reducing her carbon footprint by gathering foods from her small island community.
Kind of dirty, but nothing that mayonnaise wouldn't make better, though.
And in Belleville, Ontario, the staff at Engine Communications were hesitant about the things they would have to give up for their challenge.
Chocolate milk. I really love chocolate milk.
Could you prepare even one meal using strictly local ingredients? How about 3 meals a day for 1 week? Are you ready for the Eat Local Challenge? 1 week.
Here's the week of food adventures.
Only foods grown and produced close to home.
They're like little hands.
It's like Play-Doh. You're just creating.
That's the beauty, eh?
Are you ready for the Eat Local Challenge?
Well, it's 7 in the morning on day 3, and Mike had a really rough night last night, caffeine withdrawal, and he was extremely sick. We both had really bad headaches yesterday, and he was quite sick last night. So I don't know if we can go on feeling as awful as we do. It seems to be a headache that Tylenol doesn't even touch. So at this point, I think we have sort of negotiated our way to having 1 cup of coffee in the mornings now. Okay, so morning of day 3. We're not doing so hot. In the back seat, we have Kieran, who just finished a packaged granola bar. However, it was organic and gluten-free, but we needed some travel snacks. And here we have Mike. In the console, we have a Tim Hortons coffee. Mike, is it good? Is it worth it?
Life's too short, dear. It's not a failure, dear. It's a speed bump.
A speed bump. A speed bump in our 100-mile diet challenge.
It's day 3 of 7 in the Cameron Shea's Eat Local Challenge, and an exciting one for meat lover Mike.
I hope to get to know a little bit more about where our food comes from, how it's produced, to meet local producers.
Looking to rustle up some local grub, the family heads west to Featherstone Bison Ranch near Gananoque.
Welcome to Featherstone Bison Ranch.
Thanks for having us.
So happy to see you. This is my husband, Harold.
Nice to meet you. How are you?
Yeah.
Hi.
So,
Why don't we go around and have a look? This is Featherstone Farm. We have a bison herd of Canadian Plains bison of 60 animals. We breed the herd on an ongoing basis, and we also market bison meat to local consumers.
What do they eat? What is their diet?
Well, on my farm, they're usually fed grass only, what you see here on this side, and what they're eating in their pasture. So they're not actually roaming on this side.
Okay.
And I take that into the pasture, and so that's what they're doing all summer, and in the winter time, supplement that with hay.
Oh, okay. So where do they stay in the winter?
In the winter, they would be staying here in the pasture. So they grow up and lived in the prairies for millions of years.
Yeah.
And they're just perfectly adapted to everything. And the cold. So actually, the colder the winter, the better it is for them.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
these animals are used to on the prairies, living in 40 degrees below temperatures. So this is basically, especially with global warming, Hawaii for them sometimes. And they do not want or need a built shelter of any kind. They would never even go into it.
I know
You know, a lot of people are concerned now about hormones, antibiotics in their meat.
Well, I feel that animals, particularly these animals or any animal for that matter, should be treated as naturally as possible. So I don't have any chemical input, any hormones. I don't fertilize my fields. I find a healthy animal that is fed what it should be fed also makes for healthier food.
Eating meat is something I've always struggled with, having been a vegetarian for 10 years. So I used to always joke with my husband that if I couldn't kill it myself, I won't eat it. So standing and looking at these large bison, I don't think I could kill them myself. However, I think that from a healthful eating that is in tune with the environment, I really feel that this is one of the best choices. And before, when I became a vegetarian, it was out of my concerns related to factory farming. And then to come here today and see the approach taken to meat production is so much different and so much more in line with my values, that with my conscience and my views on eating meat, I feel fine eating this meat and feeding it to my family as well.
Let's have a look how our bison roast is doing. And it should be cooking to 145, 155. Okay, let's see what we have here. 145, so that's just good.
Yummy! Look at that.
Oh,
it looks delicious.
Okay, so those are 2 round roasts.
And it smells good.
Yes. So we'll let it rest for a while.
Doesn't that look good? Maybe we'll take one home.
Yeah. Sounds good.
Fire.
So maybe I'll give you a little sample here.
Okay, Karen.
Okay, local bison roast.
Wonderful.
You know this cooked to medium rare.
It's delicious. To actually talk to people about how they produce their food is really interesting to me. And I think that if we can do that more often, then not only do people who produce our food become accountable, but we as consumers are accountable to them, because it becomes part of a community then. They're producing good, healthful food for us that we trust, and in return, we support them as much as we can.
It just makes your food more meaningful, a stronger connection to it.
South of Belleville, Ontario lies Prince Edward County, a fertile island community rich in a variety of locally grown foods and farm-fresh products. Food lovers from all over are drawn to its organic farms, wineries, and artisan cheese factories. The Harvest in the County Summer Supper is an opportunity for residents and visitors to sit down with farmers and learn about where their food comes from.
Harvest in the County is a celebration of agriculture and our farming community. What we wanted to do was bring people together on one evening to break bread with neighbor and farmer, and just to really relish the fact that we're so lucky to have all this food so close by.
Thank you.
You're welcome. People buy food every day, and we grow lots of food. So it's a very simple premise. And what we thought is, why don't we make people a little bit more aware of the variety of food that we have, build ease of accessibility and convenience, because that's how people shop. If it's gonna be really hard to buy local food, it's not gonna work that well. It brings the food closer to the people. It is a tighter economic circle so that more money stays in the economy. We're not shipping goods out as far, and it certainly makes things just a little bit more sustainable.
I've lived in the county since I was in grade 2, but even I'm not aware of all of the local farms in the area and what they grow, what they produce.
It's day 4 of the Engine Communications team's 7-day Eat Local Challenge. They're taking a break from the office and are heading to Prince Edward County to experience its local food culture. First stop is the Milford Bistro in Milford, which specializes in an organic and locally sourced menu.
There is yours. Thank you.
Chef Chris Pengelly has cooked up a local food culinary challenge for Kathy and Fillmore.
The challenge was using 100% local food, 100% local ingredients. They had to create a cabbage salad for the judges and a lamb burger.
Sean, Brenna, and Carrie will be the cook-off judges.
How about
So I think it's
whoever
gonna be
the
tight.
loser buys everybody coffee on Monday?
On Monday? Okay. Oh, coffee.
The mayonnaise It uses local eggs, but it's got canola oil in it and salt and pepper. And so if you're going to do 100% local, what you're going to use is you're going to use county cider apple, which is local, and you're going to use lemon thyme from the garden. We try and serve everything here locally, from the eggs to the goat's milk, to the cheeses, to the vegetables, to the beef that comes from 4 kilometers away. The lamb comes from 2 kilometers away. Cherryvale Organics, 145 acres of vegetables delivering daily. Being in the county, it's great because we can source just about everything we serve locally.
Oh, that smells good.
You're only going to use about half of it in the actual mix. If you use more than that, then you'd use oatmeal, which isn't local, to dry it out. But we're not using oatmeal today. Now spoon it out, spoon some of it out. Just form it with your hands. It's like Play-Doh. You're just creating. And the more even it is, the easier it'll cook on the barbecue.
We had the chef here walking us through it, so it wasn't left solely to my own devices. That's a good thing.
Okay, so now the first thing you do before you put the burgers on is you need to coat your cooking surface, and that'll keep it from sticking. You can either cook them on the barbecue low, at a low temperature, or put them up top and let them cook a little more thoroughly at a higher temperature. So I'm going to tell you today, we're going to put them up top. Okay? Put it on. That's it. Next one. Beside it. And we're going to give it 6-7 minutes.
Coming up on Eat Local Challenge on TVCOGECO, Kathy and Fillmore turn up the heat to see who will win the local chef cook-off. Plus, will family be there for a hungry Deborah Kimmett, or will her sister have the last laugh?
I've been waiting. I knew you were coming.